retreat card. So we see a bird safe in a nest, right? Now, see how this is kind of like he's safe in a little barrier, like a little, he's safe, protected from the outside world. Like he's got a boundary up, right? He's in his little nest. He's in his nest. Now there's another one going the other way, like that's the outside, right? And you see how there are things sticking up, like there's a boundary there. And there are prickers, there are little thorns, there are sticks pointing out, like a fork, like you know, prongs, you know, like let's say on the tops of buildings where they have those things, those spikes to keep the birds from landing, right? So that's a protection. So he's not only safe in his barrier, but see how there's 2 layers, there's 2 rows here. So there's already 2 rows here, and there's a thick middle buffer. Then on top of that, there's another going the other way with the spiked prongs, like a protective boundary has been enacted. Above that, we see that's the sky. So that's the world, that's infinity, that's the rest of the world. That's the outer world, right? He's in his little microcosm. There's the macrocosm, right? And now you see more branches and twigs. But again, another barrier, yet another boundary has been enacted with not 1, 2, but 3 rows and 2 buffers between them. So he not only has that 1 boundary with 2 rows, the second boundary, but then the third, and each one is significantly more like he's learning lessons. Like the first boundary was 1 line, then he added that buffer in that second row. Then he added the attack. But then it was like, I don't need to always be attacking, right? I'll put a boundary up here, and if someone gets past it, then I am forced, I have no choice but to defend myself. See, this is not outward in the top, like as if you're going to be attacking and fighting. Let's say you're dealing with a narcissist. So this card is telling you, you don't need to fight them. You don't need to be on the defense. You don't need to be aggressive. You don't need to have your swords up and out and ready for action. You just need to put down your personal boundaries and make them strong. See how strong they are? And they're not just there. They're not flimsy. They're supported by wood. Do you see that? They're supported by wood. Wooden beams. This is a foundation. This nest is very protected. It also can be protective. It's not just protective, but it can fight if necessary. It has the means. This bird has the means to fight and defend if necessary, but that is not its primary goal here. The primary goal is to be safe. Okay? And yeah, that's what I'm seeing here. So that's today's message. Even if you have to retreat back into yourself, right? If someone's trying to fight with you, if someone's trying to attack you, if someone is giving you problems, if someone's basically attacking you and telling you that you're the problem when you know you're not, and you know that you're just being kind and loving, and then they're being angry and mean to you, and then you just, you know, standing there like, I don't even understand why you're doing this to me, like, and it's only narcissists who do this. They'll scream and yell at you and actually accuse you of screaming and yelling at them when you're silent, doing nothing wrong. They'll twist what you're doing into a negative thing. They have a very negative mindset, and so everything that happens, they take it like it's an attack on them, when it's just you being yourself and not even paying attention to them and having nothing to do with them. And, you know, like, you could say something nice and they will put a negative spin on it and actually tell other people, like, they said this and they meant it this way, and insert their own projected assumption of what your intentions were, and they add in their own skewed bad intentions and bad energy into you and project that onto you, right? So when dealing with these see, that's what I deal with, so that's why this card came up. And in this collective, everyone's going through pretty much the same thing as me. All of us have our own narcissists that are and have been. trying to take us out for our whole lives, right? Always trying to push us down and keep us down, and we are like just standing there like, why are you doing this? Why are you lying? Why do you hate me? Like, I don't get it. So this card is telling you, don't worry about what the narcissist or anyone that has an issue with you, and you know that you do the right things, you know you're loving, you know you're honest, you know that if you make a mistake, because no one's perfect, and you admit you're not perfect, you know you're not perfect either. So you're not going around being self-righteous and judging everyone, and you're not putting people down. You're actually, if you're like me, you're actually supportive of others and actually point out like, hey, it's okay if you made a mistake. I made mistakes too. I made that same mistake a million times, but this is how I overcame it. This is how I stopped making that mistake. So if you're like that and you're like me, and even if you do accidentally offend someone, as long as they tell you, or if you notice their body language, because we're hyper vigilant, because we were raised to be constantly vigilant of everyone's emotions and be able to read the room so that we know if anyone's upset, so that we can be safe and back off, like, oh, she's not in a good mood, I better run before I get screamed at, right? Like, so when you're raised that way, and you have to always be so vigilant of everyone's emotions, and always have to be the one controlling everyone, not controlling, the one to transmute all those negative emotions. So when people are like always having a bad mood, and basically what goes on there is they can't handle that energy. So if they're unhappy, they're angry, that's energy in their body manifesting as an emotion of anger. And if someone doesn't want to look at the problem, they don't want to, or can't, or just don't know how to introspect and transmute that energy themselves, a lot of times these people will push that negativity out at others. And this is what narcissists do. They will not look at themselves. They will not admit that there's anything that needs to be fixed. So whenever they get an emotion that comes up, when they get bad energy, and it manifests as an emotion in their physical body, they don't transmute it themselves. They find someone to pick a fight with so they could scream and yell at them and scream and blast all that negative energy onto that person. Now that's an energy transfer. That person was happy, calm, peaceful, and nice, doing nothing wrong, didn't deserve it, and they're going to scream and yell at them, then say, I'm justified because you did it, and then you're like, what? This is backwards. I was just making food. I didn't say or do anything. Why are you yelling at me? Right? Yeah! And then come out with like a million excuses, like, because 6 months ago you yelled. And it's like, but that time you yelled too. I didn't yell that time either. What are you mad at me for? Right? So they just like find fake reasons to be mad and start a fight with you. And so this card here, retreat, is not telling you retreat like you lost, like retreating in battle, like, oh no, we lost the battle, we better retreat to pick up and salvage whatever little energy we have left to survive. It's not that kind of a retreat. This is a retreat to the inner mind, okay? You want to retreat back inside yourself, meaning you're going to pause, you're not going to react. Pause and think. Calm down. Don't just react and start explaining and defending yourself. When someone's accusing you of outlandish things, you stay silent. They don't like that. Think before you talk, and only say things calmly, like a mature adult with emotional intelligence. Only say logical things that make sense. Only say the truth. Only speak honest responses. Be completely honest about everything, about the way they make you feel, about the things they're doing, how cruel these things are, about how it affects you, your child, about how your child is acting out in school because of their actions, about how your child is being traumatized by their bad attitude, about how your child's constantly coming to you crying because they're scared of you, this person, not you, but the other person, this family member or whoever it is. If they're not affecting your child, let's say they're affecting your relationship because they're screaming and yelling at you and saying things to your spouse to make them look at you in the wrong light or something, or trying to interfere with your relationship. Or maybe the person might be just affecting just you. Or maybe the person doesn't like your pet and they like kick your dog, and you're like, you're affecting my dog with your bad attitude. Like, whatever it is that they're doing that's affecting not only you, but your entire livelihood, your family, your environment, be honest about it. You have to be honest. You have to state the truth. Speak up, say what's wrong going on, and stand your ground. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of them blowing up on you, because what's there to be afraid of? Someone screaming and yelling at you? So what? You don't have to scream back. You can stay calm. You don't have to own all their lies and projections. You can stand there and deny and say, no, that is a lie. I did not say that. I did not do that. In fact, I've learned, and I have video proof of you doing and saying all those things, and me standing there not doing any things you're saying. Like, keep lying. Go ahead. Go ahead, because when I need to, I can prove it. And I don't need to prove it right now. But anyway, that's what you do. And you retreat into your mind. You retreat into your mind. By retreat into your mind, I mean you meditate, you think, you ponder. And think about why this person's doing this to you. Do they have resentment towards you? Is there a reason they resent you? Do they blame their misfortunes on you? Is it because you were born and you being alive and them being your mother makes them think you're the cause of all their problems? If it's not your mother, let's say it's a spouse, maybe he resents you because, you know, something in the past that happened. Let's say it's a friend. Maybe they're jealous of you. Maybe they're envious. Maybe they don't like, maybe you guys have the same career or passions, and they think you're outshining them because you're just naturally good at what you do. Even if you're very nice and loving and supportive and kind, and you're helping these people, and you are nothing but loving, and you don't expect anything in return. And by the way, these people who treat us this way, they never give much in return. It's only ever material things. There's never any real emotional depth there. And it's always like they'll give you a gift or some kind of material gift, money, a thing, a gift, whatever, clothing, jewelry. They'll give you something to keep up the appearance that they care about you. But whenever you talk, they literally aren't listening to you. And you'll catch on to this quickly, because you'll notice that, you know, like, you'll have very deep, important conversations about things that mean a lot. And they'll act like you'll believe that they're serious about it. And like one friend of mine, we both had, or at least she claims that she also had a daughter that died. I had a stillborn. And she said that she was pregnant with a girl who also didn't live birth, right? Not stillborn, though. I think it was just a miscarriage. I'm not sure, but that's what she told me. And so I said, hey, you know what we should do? You know, that's very heavy emotional baggage, and I really haven't processed that yet. You know, like, that happened the day after my birthday when I was 22. And I never processed that. Oh, no, 19. I never processed that. I didn't really look. I kind of shoved it down and suppressed it. And I said, you know, maybe we should do like a meditation on this, and like really like go back into that moment, revisit it, and look at it from our state of mind now, a neutral place, and really go into that and delve into that and let go, you know, like process it emotionally and let go of it. Which there's a whole method to this that I teach. I'm actually making a class. I'm actually creating a class or workshop. Well, I'm writing a book, but along with the book is going to be a standalone book, but then there's going to be like some kind of a way that I can teach this in person to people. It's either going to be a class or it's going to be some kind of a workshop, which is a class. So, but I'm not sure what method I'm going to use to do this, but I have found a very good method that I created myself from all the different, basically integrating all the different things I've learned and different techniques to heal from emotional trauma. And so this is something that I'm very, very passionate about and very involved in, especially narcissistic abuse trauma. But not just that, all traumas. You know, people sexual trauma, childhood trauma, relationship, domestic violence traumas, all of those kind of traumas, betrayals from people who are supposed to love you, who just totally screw you over and tell all your, like, everything you ever told them, and then they twist it and add things to it and then go spread it around to make you look like a lunatic, like, you know, all these kinds of things, like, name it, it's happened to me, and I've had to process it. And so, you know, I had a friend who told me that that she had the same situation as me with the child. And so I said, let's do this like really cute, sweet like thing, and we can try to process this. You know, this girl actually, like literally 2 weeks later, when I mentioned it again, I said, hey, when do you want to do it? She literally tells me, what are you talking about? And I'm like, what do you mean, what am I talking about? Like, we just talked about this 2 weeks ago or whatever. And then she's like, I don't remember talking about that to you. I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, it's in the text message conversation. You can scroll up and see it. Like, what do you mean? Why? And then literally right after that, she just flipped out and said, well, I'm mad at you, and like accused me of thinking I'm better than her, and then told me she doesn't want to be my friend anymore. And I think, honestly, it was like a test to see if I would put up with it and like beg her for friendship. And I had already told this girl like about 6 or 7 times over the last year or two that I'm not gonna tolerate being treated like crap and flipped out on and accused of outlandish things because she's like jealous. Because she even admitted to me she was jealous. She told me she's jealous, flat out. Like, that was one of her apologies for one of the other times she did it to me. But the thing that really put it over the icing on the cake was she immediately, after saying these things to me, I said, well, I don't even know what you're talking about. I would never say anything bad about you. I would never do any of the stuff you're saying. I never did do any of that. I love you. I support you. You're my best friend. Why would you even think this? Like, it's not my character. Like, you know how I am. I don't change. I'm the way I am. I am me. What I say, I'm literal. If I say I'm away, that's how I am. If I say I feel this way, that's how I feel. I don't do shade and fake sarcasm things and like underhanded passive aggressive, like, oh, that dress looks nice on you, like with an attitude, so that it's like I'm saying a nice thing, but I actually am making fun of you. I don't do that. I'm flat out, straight up, blunt to the point, straight up honest. I just say what I think, okay? And that's just how my brain is wired. I was told I had Asperger's, supposedly undiagnosed. My mom said it when I was 19. So I only found that out when I was like, already had moved out. So I don't even know if it's really true, but I did exhibit a lot of the symptoms, and one of them is just being blunt and honest and just to the point and no filter. And that's me. I never had a filter. I don't have a filter. What I'm thinking comes out of my mouth. And that's been hard for me to really like get a handle on thinking before I talk, right? That's why my narcissist used to get a reaction out of me, because I was conditioned and trained that that's how you communicate. Because if I'm getting screamed at my whole life, I'm going to think that's how you react. If I'm screaming at you, you match their level and respond. And as an adult, I finally realized like I was conditioned to act completely emotionally immature and toxic, and I had to change that. But back to our card. Back to this card. You don't just retreat in fear. You retreat with confidence. You stand your ground. You say, I am not going to tolerate this behavior. I'm not going to tolerate this maltreatment. I am not going to tolerate this. I have self-respect. I have self-love. I am not going to be treated like garbage. I'm doing nothing but being kind, loving, supportive, nice, generous, caring. All positives, okay? If I ever do make a mistake, I apologize. If you have a problem with me right now, and it's true, it's a true thing I did, I will apologize. But the things you're saying right now, these are things you did. And I see that. I can see that you have a guilty conscience. I can see that, and I know your life, and I know how messy your life is. I know you do these things that you're accusing me of. I know you. So when you accuse me of having your character and doing things that you do, and we both know full well I don't do those things, and those are not part of my character, well then it's pretty obvious to me that you're projecting your insecurities onto me. And that's exactly what narcissists do. Every time a narcissist accuses you, or anybody, if someone accuses you of something that is so outlandish that you have never done, that you have given no evidence for them to even say or think it of you, that's a big indicator of their own mental insecurities. That tells you, okay, that's how this person actually thinks. That's how this person operates. So here's an example. If someone accuses you of, you think you're superior, that's because she thinks she's better than you. And she's feeling very insecure because you're showing her up. You're not trying to, you're just being yourself. But she feels insecure because she's comparing herself to you. Now, if someone tells you, I can't talk to you, all you do is flip out and scream at me. And you literally don't ever do that. If anything, if you ever did yell or raise your voice, it's because they were screaming at you for so long, you finally matched their level, so they can hear you because they're screaming at you. And then the moment you raise your level of volume, they suddenly will smile and point at you and say, ah, you're the bomb, right? I'm so tired of that. Okay, I'm done with this. I can't tell you how many times that's happened to me. Like I want to cry. Because it makes no sense. It makes no sense. And so, this card here, I'm like shaking. Just think, my nervous system is so freaking out of whack every time I even think or talk about these situations. Like really. Like if that person, the narcissist, comes in, if I was like trying to put, let's say I was holding a piece of bread trying to put it in a toaster, and that person walks in, like my nervous system is so frazzled by that person that I will drop the bread. I will be clumsy. And of course then the narcissist person will make a comment about how I'm so clumsy. And it's like, wow, you're just really sabotaging me here. Wow, okay. You know, you made me this way, and now you're still nitpicking the way you made me react. Okay, cool. So this card here, you retreat with your power, okay? You retreat not in fear, but when we retreat, it is in power. We stand our ground. We say, I'm not tolerating this, and I'm going to walk away. I'm not participating in this toxic argument about nothing. That doesn't need to be happening right now, because you can't handle your own energy. Now, I didn't finish before. When someone freaks out on you, and they're mad, and you're fine, and they come up to you and start yelling at you or being mean to you or pushing their negativity at you, it's because they can't handle the emotions. They can't transmute it themselves. They don't want to. They don't want to look at themselves. They don't know how to, whatever the reason may be. Narcissists all do this too. What they do is, this is an energy transfer. So they go up to you and say mean things, do mean things, scream at you, whatever. And all that negativity is like invisible bullets getting shot at you. Now you absorb it. And they basically take your peace from you. They basically release all that bad energy out, and throw it on you. And then you're standing there, you get hit with it. It's absorbed in. Now you're like, why are they doing this to me? Crying, freaking out, upset, right? Hurt. Because it is personal. But we have to realize it's not personal. Even though it is personal, they do it to everybody. You might be their biggest bully, but they do this to everyone. So it really isn't personal. It's their issue. And this is what I taught my daughter. She's 7. I had to teach her this lesson because my narcissist is now traumatizing her too. And I had to teach her the same lesson. It's not our problem. If someone has a bad attitude, if they're angry, if they're miserable, if they're saying mean things to us for no reason when we're just being happy and normal, it is not our problem. And we are, even though it's personal and it's at us and it hurts, if you want to cry, you can cry. Get the feelings out. You have to get the emotions out. You have to get the energy out. Energy in motion is emotion. Emotion. Energy in motion. Okay? So that nasty energy she flung at you, that made you feel sad, that made you feel like you want to cry, cry that out. Get it out. Get it off you. Get it out. Just get it out. Get it out. Breathe in and pray to God. Meditate. You know, go outside, take off your shoes, walk barefoot in the grass, ground yourself. You know, like, calm down, calm your nervous system down, drink a cup of tea, do whatever, listen to music you like. Okay, do something to get your mind off the situation. And before you do that, though, just recognize and acknowledge that this was not your fault. This person has issues. They can't handle their own energy. They can't transmute energy. And so because you're so strong and because you can transmute energy, they lob it onto you. And now you're the one who's got to transmute everybody's bullshit. But you know what? That's why you're stronger than them. That's why they don't like you. That's why they hate us. That's why we're the scapegoats. Because we're actually stronger. And when they look at us, they're jealous. And we can't help it because we're just being our normal self, being nice, trying to be a lovely person, just trying so hard to fit it. At first it was just trying to fit in and not be rejected. Because you don't understand what's wrong with you, that everyone hates you, why everyone treats you bad. Then you realize, oh, they're all jealous. Oh, now I get it. Everybody looks at me and they see a mirror of themselves, they compare, and then they go, oh, she thinks she's so good. Oh, she thinks she's better than everyone. It's like, no, I don't. Why are you saying that? You're just assuming and projecting. Like, I don't think that. I think everyone's equal. Actually, as someone who grew up hating themselves and thinking they're worthless and thought they would die before they even reached 25, I can tell you for certain I don't think I'm better than anybody. With my track record and my past, I'm not better than anybody. I don't think I'm better than anyone. But you know what I'm going to say? Right now, me being alive, surviving all the things I've survived, giving this knowledge to people, I'm a testament to the fact that God is real and God is in my life. And I'm breaking bound. I'm literally, me being alive is breaking people's, it's like blowing open people's perception of what kind of person God would back. Like, people would think, oh, you're smoking cigarettes, ew, like, you can't be godly, like, God doesn't love you, like, you don't believe in Jesus, there's no way that they support you, like, there's no way, you must be some kind of a witch or something. Like, what? I can listen to punk rock music and hip-hop and be a kind, sweet, nice, loving, giving person who's generous, who's very nice, who is kind and honest, but I just am cool. Like, you can be a cool person and also be like a really good person at the same time. Just because you're cool doesn't mean you're a dirtbag. Like, that's not how it works. Like, people have these perceptions and stigmas and they need to stop doing it. And so, anyway, back to the card. When you retreat, you don't retreat in fear, you retreat in strength and peace. And retreat meaning go into the mind and introspect. Okay? You have to introspect. And you have to be able to defend when necessary, but not be aggressive and not attack. And no revenge. You don't need to do revenge. You believe in God, God has your back, God's going to give them their judgment, their karma. You don't have to do a thing. You don't need to do a thing. You're not going to do a thing. All we do is speak the truth and shine a light on the truth. And then that's our job. We're done. God handles the rest. You give it to God. You go immediately and pray and say, God, please, take this person. I can't do this anymore. I said what I had to say. I'm giving it to you. I'm not getting revenge. I'm not stooping to their level. I'm going to retreat in strength. I'm going to go inside my mind. I'm going to think about why they're acting the way they're acting. I'm going to think about how they were hurt as a child and how they became this way and why they're this way and why they're hurting me. Realize it's not personal, that they do it to other people too. And even if you are the biggest victim of theirs, it's still, don't take it personally, because that's just how they are. And they don't want to change. They're not going to change. So it's not for you to change them. And I tried desperately to save this person for many years, and even the best friend of mine a few years. And it wasn't for me to change them. I was there to help them ascend and help their soul grow. And they rejected that. And so I walked away. And now they have to learn their lessons. That when you treat people like garbage, they're not going to stick around to keep getting treated like garbage. It's not fair. It's not right. And I'm not tolerating it anymore. And no matter what people think I'm going to tolerate, I'm not. I'm not tolerating it. And so that's it. So that was the card for today. And it has the number 40 on it. So for numerology reasons, 40 means 4. So I don't know what 4. I don't know numerology too well. But if you are into numerology, the number 4 is on this card. So you can also use that.